But something is wrong in the world right now.
Something. You're not going to talk about Trump, right?
No.
Oh, yeah.
It's not political. Something's wrong right now.
Yeah.
In 1 week,
Yeah.
Kaizer Chiefs managed to beat Sundowns and go to the finals of the Nedbank Cup. In that same week, Arsenal knocked Real Madrid out of the Champions League. Something is going wrong.
Something is going right for those teams anyway.
He pulls it back. Rasmus Højlund. Thunderous. It's an absolute net buster. Rasmus.
Hello, and it's a warm welcome to the Diski Preview Show. My name is Mr. E, and today we're going to be talking about two big clashes that will be happening. It's continental clashes, and in the studio to help me talk about those games and give the expert analysis, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you Mr. Moore.
Hey, Mr. E.
How's Mr. Moore?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Sad, happy.
Oh, why should you be sad, man? Is it raining a lot out there?
No, it is raining a lot. I don't know if you've realized, Mr. E.
Yeah.
But something is wrong in the world right now.
You're not going to talk about Trump, right?
No.
Oh, yeah.
It's not political. Something's wrong right now.
Yeah.
In 1 week,
Yeah.
Kaizer Chiefs managed to beat Sundowns and go to the finals of the Nedbank Cup. In that same week,
Yeah.
Arsenal knocked Real Madrid out of the Champions League. Something is going wrong.
Something is going right for those teams anyway. I mean, for Arsenal and Kaizer Chiefs, that's good news for them.
What about our bet slips? What about our bet slips, my brother?
Yeah. You know, it's all about football, unpredictable at times.
No, Mr. It's a good one. It's a good week. But yeah, we've got big games coming this weekend. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah. It's exciting times in Mzansi, and especially for local football, because we've got Mamelodi Sundowns participating in the semi-finals of the CAF Champions League, as well as Orlando Pirates. So I think the first game is going to be Mamelodi Sundowns will be playing against Ahly. That game is going to kick off at 3 o'clock. And later on in the evening, it's going to be Orlando Pirates facing the Pyramids. Stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to be taking a look at our first featured game. You are still watching the Diski Preview Show, and by the way, you can be part of this conversation by letting us know what your thoughts are about these games in the comment section. And today we're going to be taking a look at the two big ones, and the first one, it's what do they say?
I'd also forget
it's a game of colossal,
epic
size.
Yes.
Massive. Yeah. We're going to be taking a look at the game between Mamelodi Sundowns and Ahly, and that game is going to take place in Pretoria. Yeah, it's all happening. One thing that I like about these two games that we're going to talk about today, potentially, we might have a final where we've got two local sides participating on a continental level. Number two, one of the two sides is going to have a star. It's all about it's just. Yeah. Only a matter of weeks before we know which one it is.
Mr. E, I love how you've made up the conclusion. Eh? Yeah. It's like you've already written the bet.
I'm done.
So let's start here, Mr. E. Let's start here. So now, this is South Africa versus Egypt. Yeah. Pyramids versus Orlando Pirates, Mamelodi Sundowns versus Ahly.
Yeah, we can end the show Number there. 1 versus number 2, and number 2 versus 1.
You understand?
From both countries.
We can end the show there.
Yeah. We're done.
Mr. E, I love how you say that because Ahly is currently second in Egypt. Yeah. Mamelodi Sundowns is currently first in South Africa. Yeah. But now let's talk about the illustrious history of these two continental giants. I mean, at an international level, from the times of Abu Mohammed Abu Trika, we used to have that rivalry between Bafana and Egypt. And people say, hey, if you beat Egypt, you've beat the best in the land.
You're done.
But now we've come down all the way down to this point in South African history where the semi-final has two South African clubs and two Egyptian clubs. Yeah. Something that, if you look at it from a continental perspective, South Africa had to get through with Mamelodi Sundowns through Esperance Tunis, which was not easy. Yeah. MC Alger had to come to Soweto, which was not easy. Yeah. But now both our South African clubs have proven that it's not just form in the country, it's form that's continental, which justifies the appointment of the CAF president, Babumtsi, because for the longest time, a lot of people have always had that narrative, because his team, because Mali, but look at where we are as a country in the CAF Champions League. 5, 6 seasons ago, maybe let's say a decade ago, we had Pirates running that race. You know, we didn't quite have so many horses in the race. We're not even going to talk about Stellenbosch in the Confederations Cup.
Still in the running.
There's so much that South African football fans should be proud of.
Yeah.
If you look at the game from a non-biased perspective and say, look at how much the game has grown. To say that we have 2 clubs sitting in this position. Now let's talk about the actual facts of the matter.
Yeah, the actual game that's going to take place in Pretoria.
Ahly, I think Ahly at this point gets tired of playing South African teams because they played Chiefs in the final.
Yeah.
Where they beat.
A couple of years back. Yeah.
Yeah, where they beat Stuart Baxter's led Kaizer Chiefs, which was led by Arthur Zwadi in the semi-finals and
we had,
Kevin Hunt
somebody else coming in
the group stages. So now they're facing a Mamelodi Sundowns side that for the first time in a very long time doesn't have a South African coach at the helm.
Yeah.
Because before that it was Pito, then it was Rulani when Pito went to Ahly. So
yeah.
now they're facing a coach who, for the longest time this year, South Africans have seen a more controlled Sundowns. They've seen a more withdrawn Sundowns.
Yeah.
They've seen a Sundowns that scores goals but also manages games quite well.
Yeah.
So
and one factor that I think Miguel Cardoso has brought into Mamelodi Sundowns is the use of set pieces.
Yes. No, but Mokoena is a multi-talented footballer. I think Mokwena's understanding of the ball is by far the best in the country.
Yeah.
I think with a dead ball, I think even with his passing, you look at Mokoena, I think sometimes we forget that in football, it takes discipline to play midfield. Because, when you play football sometimes, you overestimate your abilities.
Yeah.
And you want to play passes that are not going to happen.
Yeah.
And I won't lie, we all do it from time to time. We all try to take the
that
80-yard pass.
Yeah.
We want to take the pass around the player.
The no-look pass.
But Mokoena is a very disciplined individual. He plays his football for the team. He's a metronome for them. It reminds me of he's a modern-day Klompo Kekane, if I was to put it in Sundowns terms. Someone who's a midfield general, someone who runs that midfield, bosses the midfield.
Who can boss the midfield.
Without him, they look like a different team.
Yeah.
So my hope is that he leaves, not Sundowns in South Africa, but I'm hoping that he leaves and finds a club at the highest level, just to remind the world that we do produce such good quality footballers. There's no one when it comes to South African football that we can put next to Mokoena at the moment and say we can compare these two.
Most definitely. But now coming to the game, I think the team that Ahly wouldn't have wanted to meet in the semi-finals would have been Mamelodi Sundowns. Because it's been a boogie side for Ahly over the past few years.
Well, I mean, if we look at the history itself, and for this season, the CAF Champions League groups that they were in was Group B and Group C.
Yeah.
And you'll find that Mamelodi Sundowns finished with 9 points while Ahly finished with 10.
Yeah.
But they both finished second in their respective groups.
groups.
When it comes to goals, I mean, Ahly was banging in the goals. They scored 14 goals and conceded 7. So it tells you that Ahly is going to be chasing the goals.
Yeah.
But the one thing about Ahly at this moment, they've already lost to a South African side. They lost to Orlando Pirates in this competition already this season. So this will have to be a second test for them. We'll hope that history follows the script that it followed in the Champions League in UEFA. Because if you look at what happened with Real Madrid, they played Liverpool and lost to Liverpool 2-0. They went to Arsenal, lost the first leg 3-0, lost the second leg at home at the Bernabeu 2-1. So if history is to repeat itself for the CAF Champions League from the UEFA Champions League this season, we might see Mamelodi Sundowns go in by winning both legs for the first time.
Yeah, but it's not going to be easy for Mamelodi Sundowns. I think we have seen Ahly and especially the North African teams. Every time they come to South Africa, there is a lot that happens on the football pitch, on the terraces, and everywhere else. Do you think maybe they all might try and employ those tactics? I think it's intimidation tactics, so to say, so that you can not play your usual game of football.
I think this time around it'll be different because I remember going to watch a Pyramids game. And the difference was with Pyramids, the fans were a lot more reserved. Don't forget, we can't, as much as South African football fans have now classified these guys as North Africans. They are wild and whatnot. But it happens. But I think now they've also started to respect the quality of the game. What happened to Rulani Mokoena now with the situation at Wydad Casablanca is also a reflection on where the North African game is and where the South African game is. And I want to make an example. The game that Kaizer Chiefs played against Mamelodi Sundowns, the way Kaizer Chiefs won 2-1 away from home in Pretoria. You must ask yourself one question, because I remember looking at that offside. And I said, from a technical perspective, I feel it's an offside. But from a fan's perspective.
And it depends again which fan. Obviously, if you're gonna say if it's a Mamelodi Sundowns fan, it's gonna be an offside. But if it's Amakosi, yeah.
Okay,
you know what they're saying? They're saying what's his name? Dupree. He's so fast, so much that even the referee he was surprised the last minute to see him.
Yeah,
and he was already gone.
I mean, from a technical perspective, yes, we'll say it's an offside. But from an emotional perspective of South African football, that victory, that win, those 3 points, those 3 points
picked up from Mamelodi Sundowns.
Those 3 points could have. I mean, not the 3 points because they were in a cup competition.
So sorry, it was
It could have.
Bank,
It had the power to change legislation.
Yeah, it had the power to change. I wanted to find out something from you. Okay, while we're still talking about the game between Mamelodi Sundowns and Kaizer Chiefs. All right, Kaizer Chiefs currently sitting at position number 8. All right, if they go on to win the Nedbank Cup, would you classify that as a successful season or not?
Mr. E, I think we should put that clip in where I said that right now Nabi needs to win a trophy.
Yeah.
Nabi needs to win a trophy.
To gain the confidence of the masses.
A top 8 finish doesn't count. He needs to win a trophy.
Yeah.
And I think that message resonated and it went through to the right ears because if you look at where Nabi is and you look at what Nabi's up to, you will see that there's a club, there's a side that is looking to win something.
Get something.
Yeah, the priority is to win this Nedbank Cup. The priority is to bring home a trophy. No, but I think honestly speaking, they came to their senses.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Kaizer Chiefs. You know, you have to bring something home.
Yeah.
In sports is the only place where first is a winner, everyone else is a loser.
Yeah.
In real life, you have winners at the mid-table, you have winners at the bottom.
Yeah.
Everyone is winning in their own different way.
Yeah.
But in sports, you have to be at the top of the table.
Yeah. Otherwise, if you're number 2, you are the first one in a line of losers.
You're a loser.
Yeah.
So for Kaizer Chiefs fans, I mean, do you see the eruption that took place?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Kaizer Chiefs shirts came out of the washing machine.
Yeah.
After spending 10 years in the washing machine.
So some came out of pillowcases and so on.
To show you that they haven't been worn in a while.
Yeah.
They were all bright yellow.
But the nicest thing, I think the cherry on top was that Kaizer Chiefs managed to beat Sundowns after a very long time. I think the last game that they had played together, they lost by 1-0 courtesy of that goal by Ribeiro. That was painful. They had to come to the party. They had to come up with a strategy to beat Mamelodi Sundowns, of which they did.
Mr. E, circumstances were different back then.
Yeah.
I think you have to remember that circumstances when they met the last time was that they were playing in league format, number one. Number two, Sundowns was sitting in that break between CAF Champions League matches.
Yeah.
When you look at the nature of the result that just took place now, you're looking at 2 CAF Champions League matches back to back, Esperance away and home, home and away.
Yeah.
So that's traveling across the continent to go play these 2 games. And then after that, you come back to a Kaizer Chiefs in the Nedbank Cup.
Yeah, that's hungry for a win.
If we're being honest, Sundowns was being thrown into the deep end. You just came from playing 2 intense teams with a North African, 2 intense games with a North African side.
Yeah.
And then you get thrown into the mix and they say, listen, you are now going to play a local side in a cup competition. Yeah. If you lose and drop points, that's that.
That's it.
That's that.
Sure.
You're out. So I think we also need to take that into consideration. But I think Mamelodi Sundowns played the game well.
Yeah.
They went to the 90th minute at 1-1.
Yeah.
They lost it to that goal, which I felt it was an offside. But for the happiness of the country, you saw the rand went up immediately.
Yeah,
it was like boom, the rand was.
We must have more of these games. Pretty soon the rand is going to be will be neck on neck with the pound or the euro.
FIFA called Simpiwe Shabalala. They're like, we want you to be part of our players' executive. As soon as that call went in, everything just went right in the country.
Yeah, but it was beautiful scenes to see Amakosi in jubilation after a very long time, and this is the first final they are going to after a very long time. Even if they don't win it, trust me,
they have to win it.
Okay, just in case, it's a game of football.
They have to win it.
Even if they don't win it,
they can't go to be as tourists.
Yeah, but I'll give you one tip. All right, I know which team is going to win.
Which one? The final.
The final of Nedbank. Not this one here. We're going to come back to this one.
Sundowns versus Ahly.
No. I'm talking about the game between Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates. I know which team is going to win. But for now, let's quickly get into the prediction side of what is going to happen over the weekend.
Let me explain to people at home what Mr. East tried to do here.
Yeah.
He's saying the Soweto derby.
Yeah.
He's not saying which one.
Yeah.
Because if you know, it's taking place on the 3rd and the 10th of May.
Nah.
So he's going to be safe. So if they win the one and lose the other, he's going to say, I didn't say which match they're going to win.
Exactly. Oh, yeah, we're having fun here in the studio. Now, let's quickly get into the prediction side of things, more on the game that's going to take place in Pretoria between Mamelodi Sundowns and Ahly. And if you can tell us again what you think the scoreline is going to be.
The scoreline is going to be firm 0-0.
Yeah.
I think they'll all come out guns blazing. I know the Egyptians will come out running. One thing that people never give the Egyptians credit for is that they really play an extensive football.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a 0-0 result. If anyone's going to get a goal, I believe it'll be Sundowns. Like I always maintain, Sundowns, they're goal-scoring machines.
Yeah.
They managed to score 1 goal in each of their last 3 matches.
Yeah.
And they had for a while, they had a run of 3 games where they scored 5, 4, 4. So I just say that they have the goals in them.
Let me just quickly take you back in time. 11 March 2023. Mamelodi Sundowns played against Ahly.
Yeah.
They put 5 against Ahly.
5.
The game ended 5-2.
5, Mr. E.
Yeah, only 24 months back.
Yeah, it was a group match, Mr. E. It was a group match. What they say?
Yeah.
This
I hear you. I just want to show you the capabilities of Mamelodi Sundowns, what they can do to Ahly. And if you look at the results from then, I think Mamelodi Sundowns has had a fair share of positive results every time they play against Ahly. Yeah.
Well, technically, if we want to be those people, we'll say that Sundowns has not lost to Ahly in each of their last. Am I reading this right? 6 matches.
6, yeah. That's 2, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, they haven't done that.
And the last time they played was a goalless draw.
Yeah.
And that's the prediction I'm going with.
Okay, so you're saying it's going to be a goalless draw?
Yeah.
Okay. You're not going to ask me how... okay, no, it's fine.
We already know your prediction.
Yeah, you already know.
Mr. E doesn't care who's playing. As long as Kaizer Chiefs wins.
Yeah, we're done.
What's your prediction, Mr. E?
Oh, my prediction, I think it's going to be a tight one, but Mamelodi Sundowns will take this one by 2 goals to 1. Shasha.
We'll give it to you.
Shasha.
We'll give it to you.
Yeah.
We'll give it to you.
Let's quickly take a break, and when we come back, we're going to be taking a look at the other game which will be happening across town. That will be Orlando Pirates welcoming the Pyramids.